guys, what's up? It's AC28 again, and this is part 2 of basically college advice for freshman year. We basically finished all this stuff, so we went over books, we went over GPA in class, we also went over high school credit, and in part 2, we'll go over partying, we'll go over major and switching majors, and basically summer credit. So, whenever you start partying in college in general, some people are into partying, some people aren't. That's perfectly fine. But my advice, if you do decide to party, make sure you have everything done first. So partying should sort of be like make sure all your work is done before you even go out. If you have a test on Tuesday and you haven't started studying, I don't recommend going out on Friday, because Friday is gone, then you only have a couple days to study for your test. So my advice, make sure if you have a test that week, make sure you completely studied for it. You finished all your homework, make sure you finish any projects, any studying you have to do, any preparation for next week. Basically more of the story for partying, don't do it unless you have everything else done. There's major and switching majors. I thought this would be a pretty important part, just because going into college, you don't really know, a lot of people don't know what it is you want to do. So, or they'll pick something because it's something you like, like I said previous, you'll pick something like, oh, let's say I like video games or whatever, and I decide to be a video game programmer. Well, whenever you try it out your freshman and sophomore year, or however long you're there, and you find out, oh, I don't like this, and I can't see myself doing this in the future. Well, okay, that's perfectly fine, but I say if you do decide to switch majors, make sure you either do it freshman year or sophomore year. Junior year, you're a little bit too far in my opinion, but you can always switch whenever you want, because honestly, even if you switch senior year, let's say like worst case scenario, you're almost done with school and you're like, I hate this. I really do hate this. I don't enjoy what I'm doing. So spend an extra 3 years in college, then do something the rest of my life that I hate. You know what I mean? So if you're hesitant, like, man, I'm a senior, man, I don't like this, and I don't know, it's your only major. If you have the resources, I recommend actually switching majors and trying to find something you like, because at the end of the day, it's only 3 years time compared to 40 years doing something you don't like. Or you can always have the option of actually just getting the degree and trying to work in another field that doesn't, involve your degree, if that makes sense, alright? So, and another thing about picking your major, whenever you're going into college, you should honestly have your major decided by probably end of junior year, because that's whenever you're doing all the SATs, ACTs, and all that testing stuff. So, and that's also whenever you apply to college. I think mid-junior year to end of junior year, not exactly sure, but whenever you're applying to college, they'll have you pick 2 or 3 majors, like your main majors that you want to get into, your alternate major, like let's say you didn't make this one or this one filled up too much, and they'll give you another major. So this one, and then they'll have a third one or something like that. So make sure you find something you're interested in. For example, I'll go back to the video game analogy, like, oh, I like video games, I should be a video game programmer, or I should be a computer scientist. And there's different branches of like each major. So let's say I want to be an engineer. Well, there's chemical, petroleum, mechanical, architectural, civil, like there's a whole different fields, but I guess getting the general idea down would be the first point. So if you like, oh, I like watching the stock market move and stuff, well, you might, I don't know, be a major in economics. And then under economics might be a different subfield. But again, you'll find it later as long as you get the general idea down. But basically, pick something you're interested in, and also pick something that you sort of hold a living off of. Let's say I really love this, but I would never make, I would make $0 per year. Yeah, you'll be enjoying what you do a lot, but at the same time, you can't feed yourself, you know what I mean? So there's a sort of a balance, and you try to get, basically if each category was a 10, you're trying to get as close as you can to 20. So try to pick the best of both. So base major money-wise is like a 7 out of 10, and enjoyment-wise is a 9 out of 10. That's better than if the money was a 10 out of 10 and enjoyment was a 2 out of 10. You know what I mean? So try to balance that out, and then I say try to pick the major that fits both of those categories of being able to sustain and feed yourself, and being able to enjoy what you do. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be going to work every day, and either you're going to hate it and dread going to work, or you're going to, enjoy it. Summer credit. I wanted to say this because last video, I feel like I focused a lot on 4-year universities, 4 or 5-year universities, like major universities, stuff like that. But I didn't talk too much about community college. Community college is a really good option. And it really just depends on you. I know there's some people working, like you have to work full time and you want to get your basics out of the way. Well then yeah, community college is perfect. Is get a little bit ahead of the game. So basically, because a lot of the course plans they give you, let's say it's going to be a 4-year plan, but that's if you get every single class on that course plan every single semester. You have 8 semesters in 4 years, right? If you're doing fall, then spring. Some might have 3 semesters. Different universities work different ways, but basically they're planning, they say, okay, you'll get out in 4 years, right? And then I'm going to use the screen again. Basically, here's year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Year 1, you have 2 semesters, and fall semester of year 1, you have 4 classes, right? And since you're a freshman, you're usually going to register last. That's just a fact. Like, everybody else has priority above you, and they already registered basically the end of their last year. So sophomores registered maybe in April before they went on summer vacation. But as a freshman, you're going to register during orientation or something, and that's going to be in June, July, and then all the classes might not be there. So my advice, whenever freshman summer, if you need any classes to get caught up back to the course plan or to get ahead of the course plan to leave a little bit of room, my advice is to take summer classes at a community college. Also, taking summer courses, you don't even have to take it at a community college. Honestly, you can take it at your university as well. Either way, whichever works best for you. I'm just saying there is a community college option that's probably cheaper. In community college, whenever you take the class there, most of the time, you'll just get credit for the class. You won't have it count on your GPA, per se. So, like, let's say at the community college, you got a B in physics, and it's 3 hours, right? So, your university that you go to, they'll accept the credit, but they won't accept the GPA that you got from the community college. So, they'll just say, okay, you have credit for physics, and we'll add it to your credit hours. You know what I mean, if that makes sense. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. But for a review of the whole advice for freshman year, right here. Okay, so we went over books, more of a story there. Watch part 1. Don't buy it before the first day, my advice at least. GPA in class, freshman year really sets, it sets your GPA. So make sure you do well freshman year. High school credit and high school decisions. Make sure you sort of decide on your major through your junior year, try sophomore summer, going into junior year, going into senior year of high school. High school credit, also take AP courses and things like that get you a little bit ahead of your course plan, a little bit ahead of the game, I guess. Part 2, party. Make sure all your work's done. If you do decide to party, make sure your stuff's done and make sure there's not any tests coming up or anything like that to put you behind or anything. Major swap, switching your major. Make sure that you know what you want to switch to. Make sure you're switching for a good reason, and make sure you try to switch earlier in your college career. Major, make sure you pick something that you're interested in through your interest again. And summer credit, it's not a bad idea to take classes during the summer. And honestly, it doesn't kill your whole summer. It takes about half of it during like a couple hours. So my advice, have the class, you'll have to wake up at like 9 a.m. and then it'll be 9 to 12, Monday through Thursday, and then you'll have the rest of the day because honestly, the rest of your friends are waking up around 12 or 1, so they won't miss you. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment box below, and don't forget to subscribe or anything like that for more videos. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's AC280.